Hey everybody. Yes, I am still alive. It's been a while since I've done an update on the Globe Swift, or really an update on anything. I have really not said or done much, talked to anybody. Yeah, I've been just a total outcast for a while, which is fine. I get things done that way. Not saying you guys annoy me or nothing, but just had to have some me time. But I'm back. And boy, do we got some work done on the Swift. Probably the most notable thing or noticeable thing is the graphics are now applied. Turned out very well. I decided to go with Corvin Miller's name on the side instead of Ed Hibner, who was the uh, owner and pilot of the full scale of this aircraft. At least was. I can't find any information on it other than it's basically been decommissioned since 2011. So yeah, decided since this is a tribute to Corvin, might as well put his name and have him in there. And you can see my wicked, awesome scale cockpit interior. Just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I don't get too much into cockpits, but it looks nice being all sealed up. It's all painted. Um, Windows. Got the windows put in. That was a little bit of a chore. Um, they didn't turn out too bad. Took a few attempts to get them installed, but once I got them, it was all right. Painted the. This was actually basically a visor that was just an addition onto the windscreen that was actually painted on the full scale. Some of them it became an actual part of the top of the fuselage, and others they were painted. So got that put on, and back to the windows a little bit. When you're installing windows from the inside, it can be kind of a chore to make it look good. Because if you just glue it in from the inside, then you have basically the edge of the fuselage and a window, and it just doesn't look good. So what I did is after I glued them in, I went around the perimeter of the window with just a very small bead of just white sealant, silicone basically. And that kind of finishes it off. It gives it a nice frame and just makes it look a lot better. So that worked out good. They're in there. I mean, they're not going anywhere. They're cut slightly oversized on the inside, so they press up against the inside of the fuselage like this from the inside. And I used amazing goop to hold them in. So hopefully that works. The only thing I'm worried about is, this is just 1/8 inch balsa, which is the skin for this fuselage, and it's not supported up here. I'm just worried that when this is out in the elements, the sun, the heat, humidity, that this is going to start to, change shape like balsa does in the elements, and it might pull away from the window. I'm kind of worried about that. Hopefully that won't happen. Anyway, that's also slightly different than the one that was on the full scale, but I think it looks really cool. I think that looks sweet. I mean, it's a Globe Swift. I mean, come on. I don't feel like taking the wing or the cowl off, so it's going to be kind of hard to show you other things that I've gotten done. It's basically in the flyable stage right now. Underneath this floor down here, on the bottom side of it is where the receiver, batteries, everything is hooked up. And of course, you can see the fuel tank shows up into the cockpit area a little bit, which is good. Kind of gives you a little bit of a sight. And of course, the onboard glow over in that corner there. And also, after making my last video, my buddy Steve Pooley chimed in and said, those silicone exhausts will probably work, but they'll also probably come off. And he showed me some pictures and gave me some ideas on how he does his, and you really can't see it once again, I'm not going to take the cowl off. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it right there. Look onto this pipe right here. You can clearly see a hose clamp and what appears to be copper plumbing tubing. And that's exactly what it is. So I have bent copper tubing, which, yeah, you can kind of see in there. Really hard to see, but anyways. And it comes along down here and then bends and curves out the bottom. So you can see how it comes out the bottom of the cowl there. Boy, this thing is not focusing worth a damn. There we go. I have to cut these stacks. I'm going to cut them a lot shorter than what they are now. But when I do a video of running the engine, I'll be able to show you how they're all installed and everything. Pretty neat. Worked out pretty well. And I have started painting the cowl. Come on, focus, will you? There we go. So the white on top and the silver has been painted. You can see that that duplicolor engine enamel matches monocoat aluminum really well. And this isn't even cleared yet. So I still got a lot more work to do. A lot more work to do. The only downside to using rattle can paint is you have to wait. You can't be in a big hurry. So the next step is going to be adding the blue up here, and you can see how I overextended the aluminum is because I compensated for masking off this pinstripe right here. So not only will I be masking it here and here for the blue, but I'm going to put a piece of 1/4 inch mask over top of the aluminum, paint it blue, and then peel that off, and I'll have my aluminum stripe inside the blue. So that's why I did it that way. And the same for down here. Because it was either that or paint the blue and then come back and put a pinstripe on it. Why do that? So yeah, everything is looking good. And also, the gear doors are not, or covers, are not permanently attached yet, and they're not cleared or anything, so they're kind of icky looking. But I just made some modifications to the gear. That was not the easiest thing in the world, but basically I had to make it so they didn't open as far. Took a lot of trial and error, but I think we got it. So, let's do a quick gear check here. Alright. Make sure the radio's happy. Radio's happy. Nope, only got one battery in there, so I can never remember what switch it is. And everything is programmed and works very well. But let's do a gear sequence here. So what I modified was not how far they go up, it's how far they come down. And this one over here is a little bit tight. But it locks. It locks and it's good. And because I have real-time telemetry, while I'm doing it I can watch the voltage and make sure it doesn't drop too much. So I know it's not pulling too many amps. But yeah, that worked out pretty well. Looks good. And I can't remember if the last video... Hold on. Gotta change hands here. I can't remember if in the last video if I had everything plugged in and working. I don't think I did. So you can see the flaps work very well, nice and smooth. Of course, half full. I have them on a slider on the transmitter so I can go really slow if I want to, or just jam them up. Yeah, everything is programmed, working good. See if we can make this thing mad.
Receiver is still on.
Yes, I know. Receiver is still on. Yeah, I know. There we go. Hopefully it actually turned off. Okay. So yeah, I just stuck those gear covers on there just for now because I wanted to see how it looked. And they really do make the airplane. Without them, it really looks stupid without them. So the next step is going to be to tighten up all the covering and go over it really good with an iron, seal everything up. Because while I'm in the process of painting the cowl, I can get some runtime on the engine. Because I want to get this engine dialed in really well before I fly it. And once again, just look how nice that covering is. Ah, real nice. And can you believe I had some schmuck on my last video? The last video I had to block 2 people, believe it or not. One was because of this thing here. He was saying that I was whining about electric. Okay. Yeah, I don't even know what the hell this guy's problem was. I tried to figure it out, but I couldn't. Basically, the way he interpreted me saying, you know, this kind of thing really isn't for me personally, but I got it so I could, you know, play giant foamy with my friends. He took that totally different, as that I was bashing electric, and he was saying, you know, some people can't afford fuel and can only fly electric. It's like, do you have any idea how much the batteries cost for this thing? You know, 6S, you know, 6 to 8,000s. Those are expensive. And to factor in the charger and all that stuff, that's a lot of money. So electric is not always cheaper. It really is not. But it's a personal preference. And my preference is obviously slobbery fuel. But anyways, that's enough on that. And another guy he started off by saying it's a nice looking model. Perfect. That's my goal. But then he just went on and on and on about how inaccurate and how not scale it is, talking about, you know, the way the cowl is, the leading edge, the trailing edge, everything. And then, which I was kind of going, okay, you know, yeah, which I am not building this for competition. This is a sport flying airplane, so it's nothing that I wasn't aware of. Then he started saying, you know, people commenting on this airplane, saying how good it looks, are just uneducated idiots that don't know a scale aircraft, blah, 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 blah. So I politely told him to piss off and, you know, told him nobody likes him. And now he's gone. Some people. If you're thinking about leaving me a snotty comment, don't do it, because I'm just going to make fun of you and block you from my channel. But if you insist, whatever. But for all of you supporters that are awesome, you're awesome. Anywho, so that is what I've been up to. I got the replacement air cylinder for the Stagger wing from Daryl at Sierra, so now that is holding air. In fact, it's holding air in the up position, and I did that yesterday or the day before, which means there's still air in the system holding that gear up. So that's pretty cool. Back in the corner, I've gotten the new fuel tanks for the big P51 and the big P47, so I can get those ready for the flying season. Basically, I've really been dragging my ass. I don't really have anything ready. As far as if I wanted to fly tomorrow, I'd have to start doing some thinking. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not ready to fly, as far as I don't really want to. So, whatever. I think next weekend or the following weekend we're having a meeting, get-together dealio at our local club here in Battle Creek. So I don't think I'm going to fly anything, but I'll probably bring this and see if I can get some runtime on the engine. So, that is where we're at. As I said before, when I do the engine test, I'll take some more video of what the inside of the plane looks like, how I got all the equipment mounted, and I'll show the custom exhaust, which is pretty cool. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it holds up. It should. I don't see why it wouldn't, but you just never know. So, probably no videos for a while, because the only real update's going to be continuing painting the cowl and clearing the cowl and the gear covers, which really isn't video worthy. So this is probably the last time you will see the plane before it's actually out at the field, either just running the engine or flying it. Like I said, I'm in no hurry. Absolutely zero ambition to fly it, believe it or not. Just not feeling it. But I'm shooting for May sometime. So like I said, I do want to get some time on the engine. I want to wait till the weather is more towards summer weather, because this is running on glow fuel, not gas. The carburetor settings are a little more particular on weather. Where with my gas stuff, I can pretty much go out year round with very little changes, at least not to the point where I'd have to adjust the needle settings. But this guy, I want it to be right. So that's where we're at. All right. Till the next time. Later.